Flying our colors high, a symbol of national pride. One university for our people, UTT. Educating, creating entrepreneurs, ready for the world. Top training in engineering, for endeavors untold. UTT, best in biosciences. UTT, fashion and the arts. UTT, agriculture, food technology, tops in ICT. UTT, best in sports, maritime, a place for originality. UTT, our national university. Flying our colors high, a symbol of national pride. One university for our people, UTT. Educating, creating entrepreneurs, ready for the world. Top training in engineering, for endeavors untold. UTT, best in biosciences. UTT, fashion and the arts. UTT, agriculture, food technology, tops in ICT. UTT, best in sports, maritime, a place for originality. UTT, our national university. UTT, the National University of Trinidad and Tobago, with international reach.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. It is a pleasure to be here with you today. All right, we are here to represent the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and today we feature the program Aviation. All right, now Aviation has a couple programs underneath it, and we would like to to provide that information for you because it's going to be exciting. You're going to gain a lot of knowledge here today. All right. On the aviation, you will learn about the aircraft and maintenance management. You will also learn about aeronautical and airworthiness engineering and also aviation technology. All right. Before we start, I would like to introduce my colleagues on the student recruitment unit, Ms. Janelle Thomas, Mr. Oron Hinkson, Ms. Charlene Modest, and myself, Alana Penicio. All right. And today I bring to you from the aviation unit, Mr. Parasram Jagannath. He's the program director for aviation. He's also the discipline leader for the BSc in aircraft maintenance and management. We have Mr. Lumbumba Obika. He's the discipline leader for aeronautical and airworthiness engineering. Mr. Trevor Benjamin, discipline leader for certificate in aviation technology. And we'll also have today, together with our cast, Dr. Kelvin Loughton, senior instructor for aeronautical and airworthiness engineering and design, and Mr. Rahim Gunde, senior instructor for airframes and engines avionics. All right, we also have joining us from the admissions unit, Miss Maria Matthew Joseph, and also Miss Anissa Ali Ramsrud from the student accounting unit. So you have a lovely cast today to provide wonderful information for you. All right, but before we start, we would like to show you a short video which will give you a nice overview of all the programs that UTT has to offer you. So it's not only aviation, right? We have a wide range of lovely programs. Mr. Hinkson, would you like to help me with that, please?
Trinidad and Tobago provides education, which is designed to equip individuals to be future leaders and captains of industry. From science and technology to education, the arts, sports, and security, UTT is I didn't know what you love, but it came too soon. And there was the end, you know, like talking on the telephone with me.
So I apologize for that.
provides education which is designed to equip individuals to be future leaders and captains of industry. From science and technology to education, the arts, sports, and security, UTT is the place where your dreams are transformed into reality.
We look at the possibilities and really it's untapped.
Interest is growing among future professionals as to the role of tertiary education in national development. Postgraduate programs in carnival studies, health administration, entrepreneurship, and environmental science and management, among others, play a pivotal role in preserving culture, positively impacting healthcare delivery, entrepreneurial endeavors, and the environment. UTT's students are not only exposed to academic instruction, but many take the time to fully immerse themselves in sport, music, art, and other fun and engaging leisure activities.
Not just academic enhancement, but also your holistic development.
Students are exposed to the co-op program where industry experience is gained, and the students are work ready upon graduation from the university.
Seeing some of our students speaking to the professionals there and using the language and understanding some of the concepts was really, really mind-blowing for me.
Building these skills requires the experience, commitment, and ability of staff to inspire and lead the student body.
Preservation and innovation in the area of culture and the arts have always been the hallmarks of a vibrant and thriving society. So for me and for the team, the faculty that works here at the Academy, those two roles are of key importance.
Every individual in the faculty is very focused on helping you develop as an individual.
Maritime studies, performing arts, fashion, food science and technology, sport, public safety, and agriculture are all important sectors in Trinidad and Tobago's diversification thrust. UTT brings the best resources and a dedicated cadre of professors and lecturers who continue to prioritize tertiary education within Trinidad and Tobago.
The knowledge that I've gathered is tremendous.
As the national university, UTT will continue to provide quality education for sustainable national growth.
All right, wonderful. So now we would like to introduce our first presenter for today, Mr. Parasram Jagannath. Welcome.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to my colleagues and students who are logged in. I'm seeing we have about 38 people logged on, so if I should do some arithmetic, I'm seeing staff and students. We have about 28 to 30 participants. So welcome. I'm not seeing anybody turning on the cameras. I'm seeing Miss Renako Francis, Nicole Stephen, Kaida Lee, Nikosi Book. Do us the honor of turning on your cameras. Let's interact in a nice informal and informative way, if you so inclined. So I, as was introduced by Alana, Ms. Commission, I am the program director for the aviation unit at the Camden campus in Vancouver, where we conduct three major programs, 2 Bachelor of Science programs and 1 certificate program. And we also have an aviation special admissions program for students who are so inclined or who did not do so well in CSEC. We have a pre-university type program that allows you to enter into our certificate. So I'm going to share with you a couple of slides about our programs and our offering and what the entry requirements are, etc. And then I'll pass you on to my colleague, Mr. Trevor Benjamin, who's going to talk a bit about careers in aviation. What are the potential jobs, what's the job market like, and what working in the industry, aviation industry is like, whether you want to be a pilot, whether you want to be a flight attendant, whether you want to be a technician, whether you want to be an aircraft engineer. It all can begin at the Camden campus. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now. Just give me a minute to get the proper PowerPoint up. And are you seeing my?
Yes, we are seeing your screen. Yes, we are.
Good, so
You're good to go.
excellent, thank you. Let me just go to slideshow. Right, so that's the end of the presentation, so I'm just backing up. So this is our aviation campus at Camden. In the picture there, you'll see a Boeing 727, and in the background is our hangar, where we have our classrooms and our workshops and other aircraft and other training equipment, right? So at the Camden campus, we offer a certificate in aviation technology. You will see, we call it the CAT, Certificate in Aviation Technology. It's an entry-level program that is designed and accredited to allow you to articulate into the higher level program. So you can do the certificate in aviation technology once your GPA is above 3.5 and you have gained some aircraft experience, you can enter one of our bachelor's program, the Bachelor of Science in Aircraft Maintenance and Management, right? So the cost for this certificate, it's $18,500 1 year if you're paying out of pocket, and it's gate approved, right? So we are advising students who want to enter this type of education that consider the whole situation at gate. Gate has changed their requirements or the coverage over the last year and a half, 2 years, where you only allowed one undergraduate program. So you would want to consider saving that gate support for your higher level education and paying for your lower level entry requirement type programs like the certificate. So this is something we would always advise students and parents at. If you want to enter the industry, you want to enter aviation, you want to be an aircraft engineer, and you want to use the certificate as your platform, don't use GATE for that. Keep GATE for your future 4-year programs, right? So this is a certificate program. Entry requirements for the certificate program is usually 5 CSEC subjects. We ask for maths, English, physics. Obviously, the grades are 1 to 3, right? You can have a mature entry pathway with people with years in the industry and so on, where we'll be assessed for competency. We ask candidates to get a police certificate of character because you're required to obtain a airport authority pass, etc., for accessing the airport and accessing the aviation partners for visitation and for on-the-job training, right? Down here at the bottom in green, the completion of the ASAP, Aviation Special Admission Programs. So if you did CSEC and you didn't pass physics, or you had a low grade in physics and a low grade in maths, and you want to enter aviation, you can come and do our ASAP program, Aviation Special Admission Program. It costs you $8,000. This one is not gate funded. You pay $8,000 for 6 courses. And once successful, you can access the certificate in aviation. And then after the certificate, you can access the Bachelor of Science in Aircraft Maintenance and Management. So there's a stepped development pathway that you can undergo to get into aviation. So our flagship, or one of our other flagship programs, the BSc, Bachelor of Science in Aircraft Maintenance and Management, and the other one is the Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical and Airworthiness Engineering, the BSc AE. Both programs develop you over 4 years to become licensed aircraft engineers. One is more management competency in the 4th year of the program, which is the aircraft maintenance and management. The aeronautics program is more designed, more of an aircraft design and hopefully be able to build components of an aircraft. Our first graduating cohort from this program is graduating this year. And if we have time, we have a short video that we can show what students were able to achieve in this final year of this program, the Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical and Airworthiness Engineering. but the first 3 years of both programs essentially covers the syllabi for becoming an aircraft engineer and preparing you for industry access to the aircraft license engineering jobs, right? Again, the pathways for this program, you can have a professional engineer entry. People who have license in the industry already can come and do the final year where they participate in the management subjects and acquire the degree. And then you have people coming in straight out of high school, CAPE and so on, enter, and after 4 years, 12 terms, 25 technical subjects, a 75% pass mark, which is an industry standard, right? 3 industry attachments. During that 4 years, we have 3 co-ops where you go out to industry and observe work on live aircraft. We just had people who are graduating this year finish their co-op Friday on the 19th. We had people at PHI Helicopters industry, we had people at Caribbean Airlines, we had people at National Helicopters, and we are currently assessing their submissions and so on. So this BSc AMM, it's an exciting program, has been running for the last, for 7 years now. We have graduated 3 cohorts, and people are out at Caribbean Airlines and so on, and at National Helicopters, using the skills and knowledge that they gain from our program, right? Our BSc Aeronautical and Airworthiness Engineering, like I was saying, it's a 4-year program as well. The difference in year 4, you have 12 specialized aeronautical engineering design and project courses, right? These are 50% pass mark, whereas the 25 technical subject has to be 75% pass mark, similar to the BSc AMM, right? The cost for this program, both programs, one is 30,000 per year, the BSc AMM, which is why I'm advising people, if you're going to use GATE and you want to be an aircraft engineer, save GATE for your 4-year programs. They're going to cost you $30,000 a year. Find some means of funding the certificate if you're going to use the certificate as an entry into your bachelor's program, right? So again, the BSc Aeronautics, because it's a little bit more heavy in engineering content, the design elements and so on, we require CAPE subjects to get into this program, 2 CAPE subjects, maths and physics. You require a diploma to get into this program, right? And you have mature student entry pathways as well, right? So again, you can come into the program with license, right? And do the final year to get the degree as a mature student. Some engineering or some career jobs or potential careers that is possible with these degrees, right? Obviously with further exposure in the industry and further experience and type training on aircraft and so on. When you work at Caribbean Airlines or at National Helicopters or even abroad, you can aspire to become aircraft senior airworthiness engineers, aircraft inspectors, maintenance managers, quality assurance officers, training, technical trainers, instructors, etc. Right? So there's a wide scope for future leadership roles in the industry with this degree as the basis of your education, right? So the certificate, the BSc Aircraft Maintenance and Management, the BSc Aeronautical and Airworthiness Engineering is the 3 core programs we offer at the University of Trinidad and Tobago Camden campus. Faculty is very experienced, very knowledgeable. We are all the faculty who teaches the licensed content are former industry engineers with certification experience on aircraft and so on. So you're getting exposure to first class, high standard of engineering education. So I'll pause for questions and then I'll pass you over to Mr. Benjamin. Or Alana, would we have a question session at the end?
Question sessions will be at the end of all presentations.
Okay. Thank you very much. So Trevor?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let me just pull up the careers in aviation slides for Mr. Benjamin.
You hear me?
Trevor Benjamin is a trained commercial pilot,
Yes,
a graduate of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. He started as a chemical engineer and then decided chemistry wasn't for him. He wanted to be in the skies, right? So trained commercial pilot, studied at Caribbean Aviation Training Institute, and a very experienced and intelligent faculty member who you will encounter at the aviation campus. So tell me if you've seen my share.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll talk a bit about careers in aviation. And at UTT, we just don't offer teaching people to become a mechanic, as we say, or maintenance engineer. There are many, many areas. Quite a few have developed recently, but again, and we always say, I remember students asking questions, but I want to be a doctor. Well, you can be an aviation doctor. You can be an aviation lawyer. You can be involved in accounting, project management. I think the director did outline some of the technical areas that you can get involved in, right? Careers in the aviation industry are much sought because they are very well paid. Remember, you're in a highly skilled industry, a highly regulated industry. It involves commitment, dedication, right? Not too many people go for the courses because they are very expensive, but we are very fortunate in that we do get gate. Some of the popular careers we have: pilots, aircraft mechanics, aerospace engineers, airport management and operations people. Recently, we have unmanned aerial vehicle operators, drones, which is expanding exponentially, avionics technicians, flight attendants, air traffic controllers, and many more. The good thing about the getting involved in the management aspect is that we do other courses that are involved in management, economics, project management, finance, etc., etc. But probably by the slide, you can see the nature of the work that is involved, right? You can be aviation doctor, lawyer, operating at an airport, be involved in aviation crash fire rescue, flight attendant, or being an accident investigator, which incidentally involves the skills that you learn when you pursue a technical program like what we offer. Many years ago, men dominated aviation. Things have changed, and we now have a woman in aviation. We have seen quite an increase in the intake at our campus, and those who have graduated have done exceptionally well in industry. So we encourage women to get involved, and we are there to support them. This is just a picture of our B727 aircraft that was donated by FedEx, registration 9YUTT. I think Mr. Jagannath did speak about the eligibility, so I won't probably go into that. We can answer that at the end. Remunerations, right? Normally in the aviation industry, you are well paid. You are well paid, but you have to work. It is nothing free. You invest your time, you invest your studies, you qualify, you get a job in the industry, and you produce, right? Time management is very important. It's not like working in any other industry. And we focus on doing the right things, no shortcuts. Added benefits: you can travel all over the world, probably, meet people, network, and then you tend to learn more. You're being educated overall. That is one of the main attractive features. Also, we have what you call sports aviation, where you might get involved in skydiving, hot air balloons, flying private aircraft, and some other areas. I must say, skydiving could be quite exciting. I did it 3 weeks ago, and it was the first time for me, and it was very hectic. Recent developments: we have drone operations being used all over in industry now. They use it in looking at oil spills, bird migration of the county swamp, inspecting lampposts, T&Tech lampposts, pipelines from Trinto Petrotrain and so. Security, port security, and also inspection of the airports, runway inspection, and even in the hangars now, we have drones being used to inspect the top of the wings and so, and they can take pictures. So we do have great data that we obtain. Also, we have what you call general aviation, and this is a general aviation airport, probably what we hope Camden would be like, where you can bring your family on a Saturday, Sunday, take a flight, have fun, or people can come down from the islands, come to Camden, take a maxi, eat our doubles, go to Shaguanas and shop, go back to Camden and fly back home. It's an industry that's growing tremendously, and we got to maximize that, especially in the Caribbean. Every year, there's a air show at Oshkosh in Wisconsin, where there are about over 5,000, sometimes more, aircraft and over 600,000 people. This is one I attended many years ago. And all these dots at the top left, those are airplanes. And the extreme left is another plane called a Stearman, which was a 1947 airplane that still flies. Incidentally, that's me in the cockpit. Great. So we have opportunities now and carriers that you can choose from, which will allow us seeing ourselves working for Caribbean Airlines, the Air Guard, National Helicopters, Bristow, the Airports Authority, PHI, or even working for yourself in your drone operations. So please look at these things and choose wisely. But we are here to help you, guide you. Feel free to visit us at our aviation campus. Again, we are fortunate being Trinidadians. We are entitled to gate, and we have support from the government. Please make use of that discreetly, as Mr. Parson did indicate.
Thank you, Trevor.
Okay.
So great. So that's Mr. Benjamin, and you saw him in that yellow aircraft many years ago. Trevor, I think, just achieved one of his what we call bucket list items.
Yeah,
jump out of an aircraft at 10,000 feet, Trev. Yeah.
No, 14,500.
14,500 feet. Do a skydiving, and it took you 7 decades before you did that.
Yeah.
I applaud you. I congratulate you with that. So Alana, how are you doing for time? Yeah?
We are cutting it a bit close, but
okay, so we have a video that I want to show you that was developed regarding our aeronautics program.
Sure.
A short video, just 3 minutes, and we'll then hand over to you for your agenda items. Is that okay?
No problem. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Great. Have we seen the screen?
Yes, we are.
Tell me if you're hearing sound. No?
Not as yet.
Okay, just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Are we okay with it?
Not seeing anything or hearing anything at this point in time.
Oh, just a minute, yeah. Just forgive me.
Don't forget to share the screen.
Yeah, just now I'm trying to make sure I have the.
Okay.
Okay, Alana, you go ahead now. We'll come back to this. All right? Is that okay?
That's fine. That's perfectly fine.
I have to put the video on documents and then get it back.
All right.
Over to Alana.
All right. So thank you very much for that presentation, for providing all the information. I'm sure our guests here today would have gotten a lot of information from you all, from this group, and still have a lot more yet to come. All right. We will now like to introduce from the admissions unit, Miss Maria Matthew Joseph.
Pleasant good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maria Joseph Matthew.
I apologize, Maria. Sorry about that.
Joseph Matthew, that's fine.
Joseph Matthew.
Yes. Right. My name is Maria Joseph Matthew from the Student Registry Department. and student registry is comprised of the admissions unit and student records unit. To be specific, admissions is the liaison for the application and enrollment phases. One can request letters such as leave of absence, withdrawals, transfers, embassy, and medical insurance letters. Collection of graduation certificates and replacements can be sourced from the admissions unit. Student records, this unit provides completion letters and transcripts to students who have either completed their program or they are interested in another institute. With each step of the application phase, updates would be provided. With the use of a username and password, students would be able to log on to their student portal. I'm about to carry you through the process to apply to our institute. If you feel the need to review the video thereafter, you can search for the application process on YouTube. Thank you.
Welcome to UTT online application. To get started, go to UTT main website. When the page is loaded, click Apply from the main menu. Carefully read the application process before proceeding. For further assistance, you can email the Student Recruitment Department. On the right, you can view our fees, payment plan, academic calendar, application, and program information sheets for both undergraduate and postgraduate programs. You can select your program from the list provided, or you can filter by level, intake, and program area. When the program is selected, you can read the program's description, program venue, entry requirements, and career opportunities. To apply, click the online application form. When the page opens, you can view our application options. Select one that is appropriate for you. If you have already completed an application and wish to continue, enter your key. If not, click Start Here for a new application. Read the following instructions and complete all required fields based on the requirements for your program. Please use the Next button and not your web browser arrows when moving pages. On page 1, enter your general information. On page 2, enter your address information. On page 3, enter your first and second program of interest. On page 4, enter your CSEC O-level qualifications. If you are awaiting results, enter your subject and select Awaiting Results. On page 5, enter your CAPE A-level qualifications. On page 6, you can enter any other academic qualifications. On page 7, you can enter any relevant work experience as well as 2 references. On page 8, Please select which method you will use to fund your tuition. On page 9, please read all the information carefully. For applicants who are waiting for results, please enter your candidate number. Click Next to continue. Review your application and update any fields that are missing. Enter your email address for your confirmation email and then click Submit. And that's it. Your application was successfully submitted. Thank you for choosing UTT.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Maria. That was an interesting video. It shows us how easy it is to apply, right, to start the process and also to complete it. All right, and for those of you who would like to view that video again, as Ms. Maria indicated, you can go onto our YouTube channel, in addition to which we will show you the link coming down to the end of the session. All right, so now we would like to move on to the Student Accounting Unit, Ms. Anissa Ali Ramsroop. Anissa, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. I just wanted to share my screen. Okay, so my name is Anissa Ali Ramsroop, and I'm from Student Accountant. You can contact us for any information concerning your balances, the cost of the program, cost to repeat, things like that. Our email address, it's stuaccqueries@utt.edu.tt. Additionally, you can call us at 642-8888, extension 32567. Registration fees, it is $600. The registration period, or the academic year, runs from September 2022 to August 2023. The cost of the programs that we just spoke about, certificate in aviation technology, it is $21,615. If it is you are being self-funded, the cost would be $18,372.75. Additionally, the Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical, it is $120,000 for a 4-year period, or $30,000 per year. Similarly, the Bachelor of Science in Aircraft Maintenance and Management. Students can be self-funded. They can get tuition funded by GATE, or they can be sponsored. If it is you're self-funded, you receive a 15% discount on tuition fees. Payments are due at the beginning of each semester. Failure to pay timely can result in pools being placed on students' accounts. Additionally, we have several UTT endorsed payment options. These payment options include the UTT payment plan, financial assistance studies program, the higher education loan program. Additionally, you can get loans from several credit unions, namely Aero Services Credit Union and Venture Credit Union. If it is that you're going through the route of obtaining funding from GATE, you have to remember that GATE only funds one undergraduate. So you need to decide which undergraduate you're going to be using your GATE funding for. When you're using GATE, you have to make sure that you maintain a CGPA of 2.0 and above, or else GATE would not continue until your CGPA comes beyond 2.0. To register for GATE, you need to visit GATE website, which is www.e-gate.gov.tt. The third option is if you're sponsored, in which case you need to provide your sponsorship letter to Student Accountant. Payments to UTT can be made via deposits into UTT First Citizens Bank account 1501631, or by transfers into UTT's bank account, or lastly by your credit card payments, where you go on your portal and you make the credit card payments. Remember, if it is you make any payment, please upload your proof of payment on your portal. This would help us to identify all payments to the actual students. If it is account, also indicate that, because sometimes what happens is we see payments, but we can't actually link it to an actual student. That's it for me. Good night.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Sally Ramsaru. All right, Mr. Jagannath, are you ready for us?
Oh,
Did you get
yes.
through?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm gonna pass that video session over to a senior instructor in the aeronautics program, Dr. Kelvin Lautan, who will share the video and say a few words and probably at the end answer any questions.
All right.
So
Welcome,
Dr.
Mr. Lautan.
Hello and welcome to everyone, potential students. So I'll just share a video on a little peek into one of the many exciting courses we have at the Aviation campus. So I'll get that up and running.
In the final or fourth year of the Aeronautical and Airworthiness Engineering program, one of the courses done is BAAE 4015. In January, students doing this course were given the task to design and build an aircraft capable of carrying a payload of 500 grams. So let's have a look at what was done. To begin the process, sketches of concepts were done, followed by a computerized sketch to better visualize their concept. Here we can see a computerized model of the wing structure. Calculations were then done to determine the sizes of various components such as the wings, rudders, and fuselage, just to name a few. Here we can see a computer program being used to test the landing gear structure to ensure that it doesn't buckle or fail when the aircraft lands. After calculations, drawings are done. These drawings are the blueprints for building the aircraft. Here we have a schematic of the avionics or the electronics that will be used to control the aircraft. Now for the fun part, building the aircraft. Here you can see the fuselage is being assembled, whereas in this picture here you can see students are putting together the wing. If you continue, you can see another group, a different wing design and another fuselage, and you can see that wing now being paired with that fuselage. As we go on, we can see the batteries, servo motors being placed inside this fuselage for another project, another group, and there they're closing off with the wing on top. Here we can see one fuselage design, and it can be compared to another group which has a completely different design. Here we have the electronics being assembled outside the aircraft to ensure everything works. In this photo, we have the receiver that receives signals from the transmitter or controller and sends those signals to the rudders, flaps, and propeller. This is a photo of a data collection module that gathers information on speed and three-dimensional motion in the air and stores it for processing later on. Here we have one of the models being prepared for a simple test. This is another model. Notice the difference in size and shape. In the next frame, a group tests the taxiing capabilities of their bed. Nearing the end of the semester, groups were invited to the Mike de Freitas RC Airfield in Caroni for further testing. There, they received feedback, advice, and tips from experts in the Model Aircraft Club. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Dr. Lautan. Alana, we also have with us today Mr. Lumumba Obika, the discipline coordinator for the BSc program, Lumumba. If you there, can you?
I don't know if you could hear me. My audio may be given some misuse. All right, and my camera seems to be out. All right, for those of you who are interested in aviation, welcome to Aviation. I just saw the president of the student guild at Camden join the conversation. All right, Mr. Rose Jr. So I would allow him to give himself, I would give up my time so that he could speak on the nature of the student activities for the upcoming year and for the past year and what they have, what they are intending to do. All right. But let me just say this last thing before I hand it over to him, is that it's an interesting program. It's an exciting program. We want to get you in, we want to get you there, we want to get you building these aircraft, right? We want you to think of the most creative aircraft that you have ever seen and attempt to build some form of it. Build and test. So when you do the aeronautical and airworthiness program, that is what the ultimate goal should be. All right. The aim of the program is to ensure that we could develop persons, as the director said, to get the license, and as well as to branch off into other areas of aeronautical engineering. Right. To go on to do a master's, to go on to do a PhD abroad. All right. We are getting a state-of-the-art design and system testing laboratory with our own wind tunnel soon, right? The funding is being processed, right? We have several other major projects that are coming on stream, and we want you all to be part of it, all right? Eventually, the long-term goal is so that we could eventually go into aircraft manufacturing, right? So we are pioneering an industry in Trinidad and Tobago that has never existed, right? So it takes a little while to develop. All right, and with that, I implore you all to be disciplined, to manage your time effectively when you're into the program, right? And I now recede my time to the Student Guild President, Mr. Rose, if he's willing to give us a minute of his time.
Thank you, Lumumba. So before we move on to that student guild, Alana, I have Rahim Ugunde, a senior instructor in our avionics department. Rahim, just a few words and less than a minute so we don't run into Alana's bad side.
All right, so let me take the opportunity to welcome our prospective students that will be joining us come September, which is just around the corner, about a week or two from now. As you have heard, we have a lot of excitement that goes on with the programs that we offer. A lot of the programs are very intensive. Of course, as you would have realized by now, they are very technical. So you expect that they will be very intensive. And alongside that, we try to also make sure that it is exciting so that you can enjoy your time with us. We'll be meeting on campus. So I have more words for you then, just for me to say, welcome to the family of aviation practitioners.
Thank you, Rahim. So Alana, over to you, and if you want to introduce the guild representative as Lumumba was suggesting, I'll leave that up to you.
You can go ahead and have the guild representative speak, and then we'll open the floor for questions and further discussions.
Okay, so welcome, guild president. Are you there? I'm not seeing you. Lumumba? David Rose. David.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So over to you, sir. Welcome to the session.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to everybody, our future students and everybody on the platform. Well, I'm not camera ready today, so you'll just be hearing from me this afternoon. So you all would have gained a lot of information based on our campus and what we have to offer. Today, I am a representative of the student chapter guild of the campus, which is more or less like the student government, basically, of the campus in terms of representing the students and ensuring the well-being of students. So once you join the campus, we basically oversee all matters representing those students. Currently, as we progress as a campus, this happens to actually be the first ever student guild of the aviation campus. And right now, we currently just have a vice president, which is myself, and we have a secretary, which is my colleague, Melinda Ramlakan, who is not on the platform today, but she's our secretary. But the guild generally comprises of a president, a vice president, a treasurer, a secretary, and I believe that's it, and a public relations officer, right? So there are quite a number of positions that aren't filled, but once you join the campus, you can fulfill any one of those positions once you go through the recommended process. With that being said, so far the guild, even due to COVID, the guild has done quite a number of activities. We have recently refurbished our Instagram page. You can find us on Instagram at Camden Eagles to check out a couple of activities that we have done this last academic year. Even so, last year we would have refurbished the page into this year, and then this year, even as protocols have lifted, we had a couple of events on campus. One of them being back in March, we had a little something for the women in aviation, where we distributed pins to represent all our women on campus in aviation, from the office staff to all our young ladies on the campus. Another thing we did, I believe in April it was, we hosted an Easter treasure hunt. We did this Easter treasure hunt both online and in person. The in-person was a really fun experience, as the Easter eggs were hidden basically all on the campus hangar floor, in the wings of the aircraft, the landing gear, all over the hangar floor for students to engage in and look for the Easter eggs and win a couple of prizes in the end. So even if you go on our Instagram page, you will see some photos of the prizes, some of the students won, of the pins that were distributed, and even our young ladies in action doing practicals as we celebrated Women in Aviation Day 2022. So far the guild, progressively, even as stuff are being lifted, we have more activities in store for the students upcoming this semester. Elections are supposed to come up as well. So the position that I mentioned, you all can go up for any position that you see yourself fit for. Another thing is we also have a club, right? Apart from the other general clubs that the university has, the aviation campus has like its personal club, I should say. It's invited. We don't only stick to ourselves, but we also invite other students from our other campuses. But this club is called the Model Aero Club, right? Basically due to COVID, they have more or less, kind of, I wouldn't say kind of become stagnant, but as the regulations and stuff have been lifted, we have that club, and right now, I believe they are looking for leadership roles in that aspect as well, because many of the students would have been students who would be graduating this year, and the Model Aircraft basically has done a lot of activities ever since I was in certificate up until COVID. So they generally do a lot of activities in that aspect. So that is a club you can get involved in, both in leadership and participating. They generally dive into aviation aspects and do a lot of aviation project in that regards. I believe that's majority of what we have done so far and what we continue to do. But as again, my name is David Rose Jr. I'm the Vice President of the Student Guild chapter of the Aviation Campus. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak to you guys and for being here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, David. It's a pleasure. So Alana, I think over to you, and we have a question session from the attendees.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Jagannath. Now to our future graduates, you have gotten a lot of information today on the programs under the aviation, right? Under the aviation umbrella. And we have brought to you numerous persons to provide that information. You got Mr. Jagannath, right? You got Mr. Obika, Mr. Benjamin, Dr. Lautan, Mr. Ogunde, and you even got the guild president, Mr. Rose, together with persons from admissions, well, our representative rather from admissions, Miss Maria, and also Anissa from Student Accounting. So you got a lot of information, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions, all right, to ask us. So the floor is open, all right? The floor is open for you. Please feel free, turn on your mics, put up your hands. If it is that you're not interested in actually speaking, you can feel free to put it in the chat and we will share the questions for you. Welcome, everyone. Or was the session so good that we have no questions? Everybody understood everything and we just go in and apply. What is it?
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. I'm Avinash Bislu. Yes. I attended Trinity College East for the past 5 years, and I'm currently awaiting my CSEC results in September. So, seeing that, I just came out of Form 5. I was in a dilemma. I have to do Form 6. Now, okay, my ultimate goal is to become a aircraft maintenance and management engineer, right? So I was questioning if to do Form 6, or if I should do the certificate in aviation technology. And I also saw that we had a pre-engineering course. Now, I kind of closed off, not closed off, Keep, but I was more looking at the programs and stuff offered to me in order to get into the engineering field quicker, right? Which would have been the certificate in aviation technology and the pre-engineering course that UE offers. But I looked at the qualifications needed to do the degree in the aircraft maintenance and management, and I saw two things that I had to question. It was having 2 CAPE subjects and also something with work experience, 2 years work experience. So I was wondering if I do the UE pre-engineering course, which is a year, is that going to be used as a replacement for the CAPE subject if I want to do the degree? Or if it would not be like that, and if I have to do the certificates in aviation technology as well?
Okay, thanks for that question, Avinash. A very good question. So essentially, to advance into tertiary education, our education system, our society requires you to have CSEC, right? Five CSEC passes, CAPE, which is a 2-year study program, or a diploma, an NETD, which is another 2-year study program. And now we have the certificate in aviation technology, which is a 1-year study program, right? Which allows you to get into only the Bachelor of Science in Aircraft Maintenance and Management, right? So once you decide that your career goal is to become an aircraft maintenance engineer, right? And you want no other options or no other tangents to be available to you, then the stream would be the certificate, right? Some work experience, and you get into the bachelor's program. Now, my advice as a parent, I always speak to students as if they are my children, or as if I'm talking to my son or my daughter, is to always have the widest options available to you, right? And you have to choose the path, to me, that provides you with the best options. Even the UE N1 program, it's a 1-year program. It's streamlined to UE degrees or UE programs, right? UTT has considered those N1 applicants for entry into UTT programs, and some of them have gained entry, right? But you need to always plan for at least 2 years of development, right, to get into a 4-year bachelor's program. So if you do this certificate, you pass with your GPA in the certificate has to be high. It has to be in the top 10 percentile of the class, right? And knowledge of the industry with some exposure is also a requirement. So I hope that answers your question. I hope it didn't make it a little more confuffled. You still have those 3 options. You can come and do the certificate and get into the degree program, but only the Bachelor of Science in Aircraft Maintenance and Management. Or you could come to UTT and do a diploma, a 2-year diploma in mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, and then enter one of the bachelor's program. But the issue that would be your gate, right? The whole equation now is shifted because of gate support for one tertiary education program, right? So you have to make your choices, you have to discuss with your parents and think clearly of what your future want to be like and make your choices. But I'm available for any further discussion. You can reach out to me. My email is available on the website, and we can talk further if you want. I talk to parents and advise them from time to time because preparing your children for the future is something essentially, hugely important.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
All right, so we have some questions in the chat. Regarding the Aviation Specials program, is the tuition to be paid during the registration process? Is the full tuition, rather, to be paid during the registration process? Maria, would you like to answer that, or would you like me to take it?
Okay, so I think it's more based on a student account, huh? But yeah. All right, so the registration payment is $600, right? But if you cannot afford to pay the full amount of your program, there are payment plans available to you, right? Students accounts personnel will be able to give you a payment plan if needed, or they can also advise you in terms of a financial institute that would be able to assist you, right? If you want further information, you can possibly liaise with Alana and she can give you information pertaining to students' accounts, personnel, and you can liaise with them thereafter.
All right, thank you, Maria. So you got that. You must pay your full registration fee of $600, right? And after that, you can then request the payment plan from student accounting or look at other payment options, right? We will also post our contact details to give you further assistance with that and other information you may desire at the end of this session tonight. Good. Next question, what is the next step after certificate level in the bachelor's program, into the bachelor's program? I apologize.
Well, as I was telling Avinash, Mr. Bisoon, the certificate with a high GPA gets you into the Bachelor of Science in Aircraft Maintenance and Management only. Right, so that's the next step.
All right, thank you. We have another question. So that question was from Samara Babwa. We have another question from Jaden Matthew. Pertaining to becoming a commercial airline pilot, is this program the right path that I should follow?
I mean, becoming an airline pilot requires some ground school training and flight hours, 300 flight hours. Essentially, that's what costs the money. The airplane and the flight hours, right? And the pilot instructor. I have always advised students, you want to become a pilot, great. You have $500,000, you can become a pilot. But the job market out there for pilots, it's a little bit competitive locally. Although you may be reading internationally, there's a high demand for pilots after COVID and so on. But that requires access to green card and the American market and so on. But the program, the bachelor's or the certificate teaches you significantly higher levels of theory of flight and systems and so on that you would probably get if you go to a pilot course. So it prepares you for going and doing a pilot course. It doesn't give you any credits per se to doing a pilot course. You still have to go and do the pilot program because that's approved by the Civil Aviation Authority in the manner that it's structured. But we have had students who were pilots before, right? Had their commercial pilot's license, waiting for a job, and came and did our degree, came and did our certificate. And when they did that and they went for an interview at Caribbean Airlines, they wowed the panel because they came better prepared. They came with a deeper understanding and a deeper knowledge of aircraft systems and the industry. Right, I have 2 pilots now flying for Caribbean Airlines. They are second officers on the ATR fleet, one with a degree, BSc Aircraft Maintenance and Management, and one with the certificate. And they are doing wonders at Cal. So our programs doesn't make you a pilot, it makes you a better pilot.
All right. So we have another question. This pertains to accreditation from Ronaco Francis. Good night. I'm unsure of the credibility of this statement, but he overheard someone saying that our courses are not internationally accredited. Right? So he wanted to verify that statement, or rather, he wanted to find out exactly if it's true.
Talking here generally about UTT aviation, not aviation, but UTT's programs.
Well, he's talking up. Well, I guess he's speaking about the aviation.
Well, we are accredited. I mean, our programs are accredited by ACTT, right? International accreditation speaks to a different thing. But our course content follows the ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization syllabi. If you want to become a pilot, you do a syllabus that is approved by the International Civil Aviation Authority. Anywhere in the world you go, you have to do the theory of flight, you have to do the flight hours. You want to become an aircraft engineer, you have to do the syllabus that is designed by the ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization. Our syllabus follows that standard.
All right, wonderful. So, Mr. Francis, that's your answer. All right, so we have another from Zahir Ash. If I were to enter into aviation, would AdMath be useful to know?
Any math is always useful. AdMath is even more useful than normal math. That would be my answer to that. Math prepares you for a level of thinking that will help you in life throughout your life. I know people who will debate that. Why do I need AdMath? Why do I need calculus? You know, if I'm going to become a pilot, but it prepares your mind for higher level thinking. So additional math, if you have the competency and the ability to do AdMath, and you have the opportunity, I would advise you to do it. Not so, Dr. Lautan?
100%.
All right, wonderful. So we have another question. We have a couple questions I'm seeing still. All right, from Mr. Kishon Job. He's asking, he completed the ASA program and he's waiting acceptance into the certificate program. So he's asking, how long does the admission process take and what is the next step from there?
Did you apply to the certificate, sir? If you applied and completed the application and uploaded your ASAP transcripts, then the process shouldn't be a problem. It would go through the admissions process and be presented to me for approval. I can't say that I recall your name, but as soon as I see an application for you and you have passed the ASAP, you're saying you have completed the ASAP, then definitely you gain entry into the certificate program. Just check your registry, your admissions application and make sure you have submitted all documents and completed the process that was shown on the video earlier on. Not so, Alana?
Yes, of course. All right, so Mr. Joe, what we can do for you is you can take our contact details at the end and shoot an email or a call tomorrow. All right, and we will be able to verify everything for you. All right. If it is that you didn't do the application, you can also do that tonight or tomorrow, right, to make sure that you do get into the program.
Yeah, the process is not automatic. You have to apply. You have to apply.
Yes, have to. All right. Gabriel Hines, pertaining to the registration process, the e-registration email that was sent out, I have a few questions concerning the steps, but I'm not able to access the student email that was provided. All right, so Ms. Hines, again, take the contact information that will be provided at the end, and we will be able to walk you through the steps. All right. Right, so Zahir Ash, Yes, another question. Is there a field of aviation where you can make planes? I think he missed that video. That was a beautiful video.
The BSc in Aeronautical and Airworthiness Engineering is the program for you if you want to have the foundational elements. A BSc is only the foundational elements in being able to build a plane. People who build planes and work for Boeing and so on go on with them to do masters and PhDs, right? So the BSc in Aeronautical and Airworthiness Engineering is the beginning of the ability to understand the fundamental concepts and how you design a plane for a particular mission, how you calculate the wingspan, how you calculate the landing gear, size and weight and engine and propellers and etc. So there's maths involved, and you design and you saw some samples of what was attempted to be built. Next year is going to be better, hopefully better and bigger.
All right, so far we have one more question, and this question comes from Avish Doon. My question is, if I would like to be an aeronautical engineer and I have the 3 CSEC passes needed, however, I do not have CAPE, math, and physics passes, what do I do?
Okay, never stop dreaming, never stop aiming for what you want to do. And this is why UTT has many pathways for accessing education. I mean, I don't know if I can talk about USTEP here, Alana, but that is something that hopefully will be publicized soon, where UTT is going to be offering USTEP University Special Tertiary Entry Pathway, where you can come to UTT and do maths and do physics, do chemistry, do technical drawing, do workshops, and gain entry into UTT's program. So not having 3 CSEC passes, I mean, my advice to you again as a parent is repeat your CSEC. Go and do your CSEC. Get some lessons and do your CSEC. But UTT is providing that opportunity through its USTEP program, which you should be seeing being advertised and publicized soon, right? USTEP is going to prepare students for entry into university and support and advise them to repeat their CSEC, because our society is about having 5 CSEC to be employed, right? The government services and many industries, you could have a master's and you do have 5 CSEC. They look at a candidate as deficient. That's unfortunate, right? That's a mindset we have to attempt to change. But to answer your question, there is opportunity for you to still become an aeronautical engineer, but you need to have the physics, you need to have the maths, if not at CSEC, through the UTT Special Tertiary Entry Pathway, which is going to be publicized and offered soon.
Avish, would you mind putting on your mic and speaking with us? Because Mr. Dragnut, he's now saying that he has 6 CSEC passes. So I'm wondering if it's the 3 K passes he's speaking that he has, but not physics. And I'm wondering if he made a mistake in typing. Good night.
Sorry if I'm being clearly. Okay, so basically, I have 6 CSEC passes. I have maths, English, and physics. So I can do the 2-year in the aviation course. However, I would like to do aeronautical engineering. I heard that to do I'm not too sure if I'm correct, but the bachelor for the 4 years, and to get into the aeronautical engineering, you have to have CAPE, maths, and physics. However, I did not. When I went up in CAPE in my school presentation college, I entered in the business field. I did a mix with CSEC, so I have my physics pass in CSEC, but for CAPE, I chose the business side of my school. So my question is, what do I do? So if I want to be an aeronautical engineer and apply to UTT, do I have to repeat CAPE and get the maths and physics passes? That's my question, basically.
I mean, you can do a mechanical engineering diploma. You see, the physics and the elements of science to navigate the field of aeronautics is an essential footprint, an essential platform. Lumumba, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Lumumba, did you hear that question? What advice will you have for this student? He has business CAPE, good CSEC at physics and math, but he wants to do aeronautics.
Well, there are several pathways that you could take. We could advise that he does some of the AMM core courses, like the Math 1036, 1037, along with the Physics 2050, I believe. All right, on that program, and that would be sufficient enough for him to actually start the engineering program. All right, he could also, for him, I would recommend that, in order, as I mentioned earlier, I also agree with the mantra that you have to put yourself in a position where you can get more opportunities. All right. So if he does the Cape 1 maths and physics, all right, does the Cape 1 maths and physics, all right, he could then enter into the AMM, and he could also then enter into the aeronautical engineering program with a few additional minor courses to take. All right. So I would agree with you that he should attempt the Cape 1. All right. If he could afford it, go into the CAT or the diploma. All right. And the CAT with the addition of the 1037, the Math 1037, would be sufficient for him to enter into the engineering degree. All right. The 1036 is already included in the CAT. All right.
Okay,
So those are two of the options. All right.
But so to the students who asked the question, thank you, Lumumba. That opportunity can be explored. So let's reach out to us, and let's talk a little bit in more detail about what your plans are. Right?
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, so wonderful. So what I'm seeing so far is that we have no more questions in the chat. Would anybody else like to ask a question before we end today's information session for aviation?
No question.
All right. All right, so I'd like to thank everyone for being here today, but today is not our last session. All right, we have 2 more sessions to go, and I would like to have the opportunity to share that with you. All right. Now, one thing to note, we would have had several sessions before starting on the 21st of July. So all these sessions would have been recorded, and actually you can find it on the YouTube channel, on UTT's YouTube channel. So civil, utilities, and the list goes on and on. Today, we looked at aviation, right? Tomorrow, we have information on education, the bachelor's in education, and also early childhood care. And on Wednesday, we have fashion and the foundation programs. All right, so this week is actually our last week for information sessions. For those of you who would be interested in joining these 2 sessions here, tomorrow and the day after, you can feel free to use the same link that you would have used and register for those remaining sessions available here. All right. For those of you who would have additional questions or require further assistance, right. So if you look at the screen, you will see the video tutorial, the link for the video tutorial on how to apply. Right, this is for the admissions on how to apply to UTT. This is the link here, so you can screenshot these slides. If it is that you would like to get more information from the student accounting unit, this is the email address, stuacctqueries@utt.edu.tt. All right, and here's our website. So our website here, you can get more information on our programs and updates. You can get information on the tuition fees. You can also view virtual tours of the different campuses and ideally submit your application. Just simply go on to www.utt.edu.tt. And to get on to the student recruitment unit, you will find our contact details for myself, Mr. Oren Hinkson, Ms. Janelle Thomas, and also Ms. Charlene Modest Lewis. All right, so you'll have our cell phone numbers and our email addresses. Good. So any questions, anything you want to find out, anything you want clarification on, whether you like to reach on to Mr. Jagannath himself or his team, feel free to send us an email and we will be able to guide your questions to them. All right. Everybody got this information here? All right, so I would like to thank you again for joining us tonight. Thank you again for being such a wonderful audience. Mr. Jagannath and your team, thank you for joining us today and providing that information, a lot of valuable information you guys received here today. So thank you to each and every one of you and have a beautiful night.
Thank you, Alana and team. All right. Enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone. Be safe.